Commercial transportation industry research following the implementation of electronic logs, e-logs, presented by Florida Atlantic University College of Business researchers Mr. Ed Striplett, Jr. and Professor Kevin Cox. What are the effects of e-logs on the commercial transportation industry? E-logs has significantly changed the commercial transportation industry based on new Department of Transportation, DOT, regulations requiring commercial drivers use e-logs. Recently, the widely publicized deadly accident involving prominent actor and comedian Tracy Morgan has brought more attention to regulatory initiatives aimed at increasing highway safety. The Walmart driver accused in the deadly crash was reportedly driving 28 hours nonstop when he fell asleep. The focus of this research endeavor is to identify how regulatory changes have influenced drivers, transportation companies, and safety. We hypothesize that by providing accurate tracking of drivers, thus ensuring operation with proper rest periods, these regulations have had a positive impact on highway safety. This research will directly survey key personnel such as the owners, drivers, operation managers, and safety compliance directors at these companies in order to shed insight into how e-logs has directly influenced industry safety. The questionnaire has already been developed electronically using Qualtrics survey software. References IBIS World, local freight trucking in the U.S. and long-distance freight trucking in the U.S. Research grant funding, provided by FAU Wave Research. Ethics IRB approval was not required. Data collection centered on transportation operations, not individual identifiable information. Questionnaire pretest, a management professor reviewed and assisted in the survey revisions. Industry overview. The local freight trucking industry recovered most of the ground it lost to the recession. Industry revenue will increase 2% to research $40.5 billion. However, in more recent years, a slowdown in the manufacturing sector tempered demand while falling diesel prices reduced fuel surcharge revenue. As a result, industry revenue fell in 2015 and is expected to increase by just 1% in 2016. The long-distance freight trucking industry returned to growth as household disposable income grew. This will result in a 1.5% increase in revenue in 2016. Despite weak growth in 2013 and 2015, industry revenue will increase at a rate of 3.2% to $193 billion in 5 years to 2016. The industry is characterized by low concentration, with owner-operators accounting for over 90% of industry companies. With high levels of fragmentation, industry operators experience intense price competition and generally earn low profit margins. The trucking industry is deregulated with regard to rates and entry, but it is subject to government rules with respect to safety and the environment. In addition to government-enacted regulations, the industry is self-regulated by the American Trucking Association, with acts in the interests of its members. The association provides advocacy for industry operators, research, and saving programs through affiliated partners. Hours of service rules for the long-distance trucking industry have also been imposed, along with heavy penalties for violations. These rules, which limit the number of hours a truck driver can be behind the wheel, are meant to improve highway safety. The laws have become increasingly stringent as lawmakers grow more concerned with the highway deaths. The previous rules allowed 10 hours of driving time with a 15-hour on-duty period after 8 hours off. The new rule permits 11 hours of driving out of a 14-hour on-duty period, following 10 consecutive hours off. Drivers are also limited to 60 hours on duty over 7 consecutive days, or 70 hours over 8 consecutive days. A new cycle may begin after a driver has been off duty for at least 34 consecutive hours. Preliminary findings. Table 1 outlines how many years experience respondents have in the industry, with 60% having more than 21 years and 22% having 16 to 20 years experience. Table 2 outlines respondents who knew about the Tracy Morgan accident in June 2014, where the driver was accused of driving for 28 hours straight. 86% of respondents knew about that specific accident. Table 3 outlines how many CDL commercial drivers are employed by respondents' company, with 39% had 1 to 10 drivers and 22% had 101 to 250 drivers. Table 4 outlines the geographic area served by the respondent's company, with 70% are multi-states and nationwide, and 27% are regional, multi-county, state, and statewide. Table 5 outlines respondent's title or position with the company, with 39% are the company owners, 37% are the safety compliance director, and 17% are the operations manager. Table 6 outlines the company with the DOT number issued, with 41% are national with drivers paid per mile, 16% regional with drivers paid per mile, and 16% are national with drivers paid hourly. Table 7 outlines how many years respondent's company has been operating, with 51% with more than 21 years and 17% with 11 to 15 years. Table 8 outlines respondent's company revenues in the highest single year, with 34% having revenues from $5 to $25 million and 23% from $100,000 to $500,000. Table 9 outlines how many national trucking or transportation associations of the respondent's company is a member of, with 50% from 1 to 2 and 18% from 3 to 4. Table 10 outlines responses of e-logs will prevent professional drivers from exceeding the daily hours allowed by the DOT, with 69% responding no and 31% responding yes.